of the threats of fines and police crackdowns, but vendors and partiers are still showing up at Oakland's Lake Merritt. We sent KPX5's Wilson Walker to find out what's going on. He's there live now. Wilson.
We have been following this for many weeks now, and the controversy continues. Now, as we have been reporting, the city has been reluctant to call what they are doing here a crackdown. They've actually kind of refused to use the word enforcement. So what we had today was the threat of enforcement. Was it enough to make any kind of difference? Take a look and see.
Yes, so when we got here, we found out that we shouldn't be here, but we decided to just come out here and take a risk anyway.
No food, no alcohol, no cannabis. That was the city's refined policy today after many weekends of large crowds and a wave of complaints from people living around the lake.
Vendors selling all kinds of stuff, weed, dancers, barbecues, quite, berserk to a certain degree during the COVID situation.
Before last weekend, city council members rejected calls for a crackdown, instead calling for more education. But just yesterday, Mayor Libby Schaaf signaled a move towards some enforcement, once again citing evidence that social gatherings are driving Oakland's coronavirus cases.
And these are not just at Lake Merritt. That's just a very visible place for them. And we're trying to do our part by banning all vending. Sorry, that favorite popsicle cart should not be there this weekend.
So what did things look like today? Well, some vendors just defied the warnings, and apparently without much in the way of consequences, but there was less food out here. I'm told larger operations were scared off today, but there was also some pushback from the remaining vendors here.
So we need to keep this going. There are other people who have the opportunity, and there's things been created, but we have oftentimes been left out.
Old School Copes is a legend among Oakland vendors. He says this market is now a vital part of this community.
We're in a difficult time right now. We got a pandemic, and we have people that are hurting financially. And this is an opportunity for people to earn some money.
I bought soap out here that black people have handmade. I bought perfumes, all different type of things that you can think of that black people make, and they've had the chance to come out here and showcase.
We can't control everybody, but we understand that the neighbors who live here, they're part of this community too. We're all part of this community. We have to find a way that we can work together. We want to mitigate the noise level and make sure that people are being responsible.
Wilson, is there anything like enforcement, like against the vendors?
I am told that people with the city have come through intermittently and kind of wagged a finger at certain folks. Like I said, maybe the larger operations who tried to show up here earlier. Some folks told me that the big folks with trucks tried to come in, get spots this morning, and they were shooed off, and then word got out to other people that maybe they were cracking down. So I think, I'm going to show you here, everybody can make their own determination from what we can just show you. I think it is a smaller gathering today. Now, I reported a couple weeks ago that I thought the crowd had sort of been maybe slightly mitigated by the parking enforcement, and a lot of neighbors let me know quite clearly that the crowds grew later in the day, far beyond what I had seen during the afternoon. So this becomes the other big part of this. Mitigating the crowd in the afternoon is one thing. What happens later in the evening and into the night is sort of a different story. And I think what you're hearing from the vendors is don't let the crowds that are causing big problems at night totally shut down the vending. So I think what we're going to see here is a little negotiation between the vendors, the residents, and the city to try to find a little balance. Let people have the market, but keep control of the big crowds that we're seeing, 6 o'clock on towards 9 o'clock at night. That, of course, is still to come. We'll see what happens.
And meanwhile, the pandemic rages on at Lake Merritt. That's Wilson Walker. Wilson, thank you.